trail. I'm worried about taking a couple of L's. Don't send for.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now. It's Miller, and he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. They'll try the air now with Watson going deep for Hopkins. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Come on, QB, come on.
24.
Watson with a give to Miller. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
46, 59, 19. Hey,
defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. 47 is the mic. 46. Check pass. Check pass. Check 46. Watch twins. Watch twins.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Clock now on 1st down. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 3 receivers head out right, 1 to the left on 2nd and 3.
Check. Check out.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Philip Lindsay. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Well, we talked about Philip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018. The Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Philip Lindsay. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Faking the give to Lindsay. Here's Locke. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really get...
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Philip Lindsay, his 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Go. Go. Hey, check,
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go, G. Hey, it's just me and you. Off. 9:51.
Watson on first down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it second down and 11. The sack cost him only a yard. It's second and 11.
Watch the safety creep. Alert, alert. Hey, 24. Switch down. Drive on. Kill. Turn up. It's hot.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty.
I got him. Line him, go. Hey, let's calm down. Line him, go.
From the gun, here's Watson. And he's going to go down again. Sua Cravens. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
That's how we do it.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Throwing
On 3rd down, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Had to pass there. 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Whip. Watch the whip. Check. Hey, echo.
Lock to throw on 2nd down. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 19.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
New draw Corker. 70, Indy. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Check safety. I go. Head up.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Pull it high. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've got to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But
he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. That one good for 26 and a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
A first down carry now for Miller. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Steps away to his left. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 33. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll go with a draw. Watson hands to Miller. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT. His 2nd touchdown on the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
They look to throw. It's Locke. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one.
You ready?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's set a tone. 61. Matchbox right. Now.
On 1st down, Locke. Airing it out for Hamilton. And that's caught inside the 35. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain.
On the ready.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run here with Lindsey. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. He hurdles, and now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other. And the Broncos push further out in front.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming.
This certainly feels like they were wanting to go for 2, but weren't really sure they should go for 2. Do we, don't we, do we, don't we? And guess what ends up happening?
5-yard penalty.
That's right. Now you probably line up and kick the extra point.
And before they can get the play off, here's a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball. That's their first of this second half. Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead is now 13.
Makes the score Broncos 20, Texans 7.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a This is a really important drive, and we often talk about team.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there for sack number 22 on the year, and folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Here's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and 1.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Lamar Miller. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
That's it, baby. We go punt.
At their own 18-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
At the 19-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Bravo.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs.
Check it out. Hey, wahoo. Ready to go.
Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. Sutton is part of a good young receiving core for the Broncos. They liked Sutton enough last year. They traded away Demaryius Thomas, if you remember, halfway through the season. And Sutton, he responded. Rookie campaign, had over 700 yards, 42 catches for the man from Brenham, Texas, which is located halfway between Houston and Austin. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
You better be afraid of me.
Now Locke throwing on second down. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's checking, he's checking. Go.
On third and long, it's Locke. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Alert! 65.
Watson, off play action. He'll buy some time right. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. On 2nd and 12, Watson, he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller was sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
51 the mic, boy. 51. Zoom. Here we go. 51 Mike. Mike's 51. Let's go, G. Let's go. Hey, watch this. Down him, go.
3rd and long. It's Watson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Watson is going to let this one go deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Will Parks there in coverage to knock it away. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
Give them 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Lindsey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Phillip Lindsey, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. And now the offense is going to stay out there as the Broncos will go for 2.
Check 13.
Lindsey going to try and run it in. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Watson picked by his former teammate Kareem Jackson.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Don't let him breathe. Play outside deep. Don't let him breathe, defense. Jim. Get ready.
Another run by Lindsey. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back.
Hey, Wood.
On 3rd down, Locke. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Lonnie Johnson, the rookie out of Kentucky. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Check 4. Hey, alert 3. Line him, go.
After the interception, here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Broncos.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Get off the field, defense.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Lindsey, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
Under 10, 10. 5.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The Broncos on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. To throw it is Locke. Forced out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here's Jones. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
SOS. Right here, guys. 55. 51.
Throwing again is Watson. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. To the air yet again. Watson escaping the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. To a knee goes Flacco, and that should be it. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And they say it's never easy to come into Denver to win because of the altitude. They look pretty comfortable in the altitude.
They certainly did. I'm not quite sure how they got prepared. And it's always been a big debate about what to do. I lived out there at one point. I lived in Colorado Springs. And I remember saying to someone after my second or third day there, like, this altitude thing, this is no big deal. And day 4, it hit. And it hit hard. And it took me